It's happening, everybody. After just over a year and a half of owning this beautiful 2023 Volkswagen Crafter, the full setup is finally finished, so it's time to share it with you. This van has been my full-time home for over a year now, and I could not be happier with the van itself, the fit out, and all the accessories I've added to it. This van has all I need to live safely and comfortably on the road, and my experience so far has been nothing short of amazing. And there's a lot to talk about. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you the van itself, which is something that normally people doing van tours, van reviews, they don't really talk about. They don't really talk about the vehicle itself. They just go straight into the fit out and everything they've changed and how they're living in a van. But I was lucky enough and privileged enough to be able to order this van brand new. And I went a little bit crazy when adding accessories to the van. I didn't think I needed a lot of the accessories, but now I'm pretty happy I did. Some of them are just like one of those things that you don't really know that you need it or you want it, but now that you have it, you cannot imagine your life without them, especially in winter and for long trips. The accessories on the outside of the van and how they make the van look way cooler and how they also complement the design on the inside of the van. The design of the interior, which was initially designed by me. The build itself and my journey from initially considering doing the build myself. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about how I found Vanable, which is the company that converted the van. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with them as well. And finally, the detailed review of everything that's inside the van, all the bells and whistles and features that make my life super comfortable full-time on the road. And I'm also going to do my best to add the links for all the products I'm going to talk about during the video in the description of the video below. So if you're curious about the products I'm talking about, just have a look and the links are probably going to be there. And I'm also super excited to share with you that this is my first sponsored video here in the channel, and I'm so glad that this is happening for my van tour video. I partnered with 3 different brands and I use their products every day: Vanketo, Weldbeat, and Autonomy, and I'm super excited to share more about them with you later in the video. So now, let me tell you about this van. So I picked up the van in Melbourne, Victoria in February 2023, and everything I'm gonna show you in this video was done by September 2023. So this is a 2023 Volkswagen Crafter TDI 410. It's a 2-liter turbo engine, diesel. The GVM of the van is 3.55 ton, high roof, and I have 3 seats in the front. So some of the upgrades, I've got the heated seats plus a heated steering wheel, and it makes such a difference in winter. The driver's seat is the suspension ergo seat, and honestly, again, having a suspension on your driver's seat is just super comfortable in long trips, and I love it. And the ergo seat has, believe it or not, back massage. I've got LED headlights which look really good during the day and also at nighttime. The fog lights are also pretty cool. I've got the premium package which adds the chrome on the grille and also bits and pieces inside the camera that give it a final nice touch. The adaptive cruise control, the lane assist, which is really good for safety, the wireless Apple CarPlay, which is just so convenient, blind spot monitoring, and park assist. I have to show you the park assist. Watch this. Now, before I just wrap up talking about the van, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about one of my favorite features in this van, the windows. And in my travels, I've seen a lot of vans with no windows at all. And I don't know, but if you're traveling or if you're living in a van, you park somewhere nice by the beach or in the forest when you're camping, you want to be able to appreciate the view around you. And also in my case, living in a van and spending so much time in such a small space, it can get a little bit claustrophobic sometimes. And because I have so many windows in my van, I get questions from people all the time like, you have so many windows in your van, doesn't that compromise your privacy a little bit? And my answer is yes and no, because this is where the first sponsor of this video comes in. I am sorry to interrupt the video, but I have to tell you about Vanketo. One thing that I do love about my van are all the windows I have in such a small space. Having a 270-degree view really helps prevent that claustrophobic feeling that you get when spending so much time in such a tiny space. During the day, the dark tint I have on the windows gives me privacy while letting me enjoy the view. But at nighttime, when it's dark outside and all the lights are on inside, all these windows throw my privacy out the window. See what I did there? And can't turn my van into a fishbowl without proper shades. And that's where Vanketo comes in. Vanketo specializes in bus and van life products, including handcrafted blockout window shades made right here in Australia. They call these the stealthy shades. And here is what I love about them. They attach to your windows with built-in magnets, making them really easy to use. Stealthy shades provide both privacy and insulation, keeping my van noticeably cooler or warmer depending on the season. They're custom fit for your vehicle with no light leakage. I've tested it with like pitch black situation outside with all my lights on the inside, and you cannot see a thing. In my opinion, window shades are a must-have for van life comfort, and if you're looking for the best in Australia, check Vanketo's website and don't forget to use the code 50DSC for $50 off any stealthy shade. And thank you very much, Vanketo, for sponsoring this video. So we're now going to talk about the accessories that I have in the exterior of the van, but I'm going to need some sun protection because the sun is coming down really hard and UV ratings are crazy today. So we're going to start with my security system, which is really basic, just a set of dash cams. I've got the Black View truck dash cam system, which is designed for trucks because you have one at the back and two in the front. The two in the front, one is recording what's in front of me, and the other one is recording the cabin, myself, and whoever's in the front with me. And the cool thing is with the system is that I can connect the cameras to the cloud, and I can check on the van using my phone, and you can set up alerts as well if somebody breaks into your van or hits your car when your car is just parked on the street. You have the footage, and if you need to use it for whatever reason, you have it. I like it, and I've used it a few times just to check on the van remotely. It's just a little bit of peace of mind, and of course, if you have an accident and you have to use it for insurance purposes, it's a good thing too. So this one is by far one of the most important accessories on the exterior of the van because this, I mean, some people call it pods or flares or side extensions, whatever name you want to give it. These guys allow me to have my bed inside the van east to west instead of north to south. So I'm sleeping this way, and by doing that, I was able to take advantage of the Vanable bed system, which I'm going to show you later on. But essentially, because I sleep this way, I have so much more room for my living space. So I had to import the flares from the UK and a company called Rimo that I'm going to link below. They're based in Moss Vale, New South Wales. They essentially installed it for me. I was never going to be able or even brave enough to cut into the metal of the van. This was such an essential part of my build, and without the flares, everything that I had thought about to do in the inside of the van was going to fall apart and it was not going to work. So I'm excited to show you because when I hop on the inside and show you the interior, everything is going to make sense and you're going to see why these guys are so important in the design of the van. Okay, wheels and tires. These are the Yokohama, or Yokis if you live in Australia, Geolandar All-Terrain G015. And this is an upgrade that I had to do. If you have ever seen a van when it comes out of the factory, it comes with these terrible looking tires and wheels, and they're designed for the city. They're really hard as you drive. The ride is not really comfortable. And these are the Black Rhino hard alloy wheels, and I absolutely love them, but I cannot remember the model. So I'm gonna check and link in the description of the video below, so if you want to have a look. And one of the questions that I do get from people is if the tires are too noisy, because you might know when you install all-terrain tires in your van, the ride can get a little bit noisy. You hear the noise from the tires, especially if you're driving at high speed in highways. But in this case, you notice a little bit with the Geolandar G015s. You notice a little bit, but honestly, the trade-off is so worth it because the ride gets super soft and it looks amazing. What I normally say is that when I got the van, she was wearing flip-flops, and now she's wearing boots. So let's talk about the roof racks. This is the wedge tail roof rack, and I found wedge tail from a fellow YouTuber called Max and Noki. His channel is pretty big. He's been in the game for a long time. He used to live in his van. Now he's renovating a cabin in the woods in New South Wales, which is pretty cool. You should go check him out. But anyway, I watched on his channel the installation of his roof racks, and one of the things that really got my attention was the fact that Wedgetail can build your roof racks around what you already have on the roof of your van. In my case, I have my skylight here, which is offset to the side a little bit because I wanted to have the skylight right on the top of my head as I fall asleep. I want to stargaze and I want to have nice ventilation in the van as well. And I also have my Max Air fan over there. So what I did was I first took the van to Vanable. They installed the fan and the skylight, and then I took it to Wedgetail, and they were able to build the roof racks around it essentially. I think they call these vent holes. And it's a really clever design. They do it on the spot. You just have to schedule an appointment. Another thing that I did was to put this platform here that I used to essentially, I'm going to show you just to access the top of the van, or if I want to grab something here from the storage box, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. I have, you know, a nice surface to stand on, and you can walk around the roof racks. There's no risk of damaging it at all. So I don't have solar panels, which is something that people ask me very often. I decided to go without the solar panels, and I'm going to tell you why in a little bit when I talk about the electrical in the van. But I love the roof racks from Wedgetail. I was also able to install my lights, my camping lights. They're all around the van. When I go camping, I have nice lights all around the van. And another thing that I really like about the Wedgetail roof racks is the system that they use to attach the awning to the roof racks. It's really solid, it's really strong, and you have adjustments not only for the distance, but for the height of your awning as well. So that's something that I'm also really, really pleased with. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not sponsored at all. I'm their client. I paid for my roof racks, and I am pretty happy with them. Okay, the storage box. And I think that all of a sudden we don't need a hat or sunnies anymore because the sun is gone down and it looks beautiful. The storage box, the Pelican Cargo BX140R. It's a storage box designed to sit on roof racks, and I love it. It's really handy. I keep my camping gear in here and I use it all the time, but it's just a box to put stuff inside. There's not really a lot to talk about or to say about it. But to be fair, if you want to know more about it, I managed to create, I think, like a 25-minute video on my channel with a full review because I was sort of vlogging at the same time. So if you want to know more details, I actually show the process on how to install the storage box on your roof racks in detail. So if you want to check it out, the link is in the description, and I'm going to put it here on the screen somewhere. So the lights, I think I just mentioned the lights when I was talking about the roof racks just a few minutes ago. So these are the steady floodlights. I don't know why they're called floodlights. Maybe you know, just let me know in the comments below why they're called floodlights. But they're really handy, especially when I go camping with friends and family and we arrive at the campsite and we want to set up tents around the van, put the awning out. They're really good for that. And also if I want to grab stuff from the garage here, from the back of the van at nighttime, or sometimes super early in the morning when I go surfing and I want to get the board out and put the fins on, it's also super handy. And also for safety, I must say, because a few times I noticed a little bit of a suspicious activity around the van at nighttime, and I just switch them on, and then the light goes off and people go like, oh shit, there's somebody inside, let's get out of here. I feel that's also a nice sort of safety feature. And to switch the lights on and off, I have a panel switch inside the van with the 4 switches for the 4 lights and also the 3 dimmer switches for the interior lights. And I really like it. I asked Vanable to build that panel for me with the same wood that they use in the interior of the van, and I think it looks pretty cool. And while I'm here, I'm also going to show you, this is the, I have 2 cameras here. One is just the parking camera, this one here on your right, and the one on your left is the dash cam camera here at the back, the one that I was mentioning before. Now let me safely get out of here. No, it's not going to be safely. Gosh, I'm getting old. Okay, the awning. This is the Fiamma F45S, and I really like it. It's the non-automatic version. You can get the version that's automatic. Push a button, rolls out. I don't really like it because it's another thing to break. The awning was included in the build, so Vanable installed it for me. And if you're gonna have a camper van, you need an awning. So convenient. You don't have to be connecting anything anywhere. If you need shade, if you need to protect yourself from the rain, it's the way to go. So this is the Fiamma F45S. I don't think there's too much to talk about it. If you want to see more details on it, you can just search on YouTube. There are plenty of reviews on that. And I'm pretty sure at this stage you have already noticed the cargo ladder and a cargo box here at the back of the van. I love these products. They're made by a company called Weldbeat, and of course with the box you can store like so much stuff in here, and the cargo ladder helps me to get on the roof of the van, and it makes the van look really cool. They're really functional, but the reality is that I don't have to tell you too much about Weldbeat right now because they're also one of the sponsors of this video.
Believe me when I tell you that finding outdoor off-road accessories for my build was by far the hardest part. When I went online to try to find a ladder for the back of the van, a storage box, side steps, a bull bar, all I found in Australia were overpriced, very flimsy pieces of gear. But lucky for you, this is no longer the case here in Australia. During my build, I found Weldbeat, and I'm here to share their amazing gear with you. They're based in Australia, they're based in Sydney, and their gear is also made in Australia. High quality, outdoor, adventure-ready equipment for your build. They've got everything you can possibly need for your build: the side steps, back and side ladder, storage boxes, jerry can holders, spare wheel carriers. And if you're curious, I dropped an affiliate link on the description of the video, and if you purchase the gear through that link, I get a little kickback, which helps to support the channel. Believe me, this is high quality, adventure-ready equipment, ready to take anything you throw at it. And on top of that, Weldbeat is coming up with a new range of products in 2025. If you take a look on their website right now, you're going to be able to see the new winch, the roof rack platform, and the storage crate. If you are searching for high quality, lightweight, Australian-made off-road gear for your van, your search ends right here. Check the affiliate link in the description of this video below to jump on their website. You're not going to regret. Their products are amazing. They're awesome people. Thank you very much, Weldbeat, for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to the video.
So as I mentioned before, I had all the intentions of building the van myself, doing everything myself, probably because at the time I thought that I had experience building vans, which I don't, but I did work on my previous van by myself. I had a Volkswagen Caddy, a small van, and I built a setup at the back with the bed frame and storage and a slot for my board and everything. I didn't have any experience with woodwork at the time, didn't have even any tools, so I literally just went to Bunnings, bought a bunch of tools and wood and screws and just tried to figure it out. And it worked out really well. I was watching so many van reviews at the times that I kind of had enough knowledge to tackle that small of a project. But when it came to this one, I very quickly realized that was going to be too much. The van was brand new at the time. I was really concerned about making costly mistakes. And I then just went to Google, literally, to try and find professionals to work on my van. And that was the first challenge. It wasn't very easy to find professionals at the time working in this business. So I had a lot of phone calls, went and saw a few people. Some of the prices were crazy expensive. And I literally went on Google and I found Vanable. And before I even start talking about Vanable, quick disclaimer, I'm not sponsored by Vanable.
Well, that is not entirely true, because it took me so long to produce and publish this video that just recently Vanable got in touch with me and they wanted to talk about a potential partnership. So I'm very happy to announce that moving forward, Vanable is also one of the sponsors here in the channel, and that's lucky for you because the deal that we put together, it's pretty awesome. So here's the deal. When you reach out to Vanable to get a quote for your van build, if you share the code DSC1000, you get $1,000 worth of add-on to put on top of your build. No strings attached. And yes, you heard it correctly. $1,000 worth of add-ons for your build. And here is how it works. When you get a quote from Vanable for your van conversion, you're gonna get a list of everything that's included in your build, from the type of the wood, the electrical system, the plumbing system, the layout, and all the standard basic stuff that's included with your van conversion. But on top of that, they have a list of upgrades or add-ons that you can include in your build if you want to. And that can be exterior hardware from Weldbeat, like ladders, storage boxes, and roof rack platforms, air conditioning, an extra window for your van, or the toilet Klasana, and much more. So just mention the code DSC1000 when you request your quote from Vanable, and you're gonna get $1,000 credit towards those extras. I know, it's pretty cool. You're very welcome. And now let's get back to the video.
But my experience with them was nothing short of amazing. So moving forward in the video, you're gonna notice that I'm gonna speak very highly of them because the work they've done is amazing. And they're really good people. Freddie and Sebastian, the two owners, thank you very much for all the work you've done in my van. You know how grateful and appreciative I am of who you are as people and for the professionals that you are as well. My experience has been amazing. And if you wanna see for yourself, if you go on Google, you're gonna see that they have pretty much a 5-star rating, and they built way more than the 70-some reviews that you're gonna see there. So if you were to ask me, where should I take my van for a conversion in Australia? Just go to Vanable. I had to take my van back a few times to tweak a few things, and the service has been awesome. So when I found Vanable, had a call with Sebastian on the phone, and in the first 10 seconds, I could notice, okay, I'm speaking to a professional. I'm in sales. He's a sales guy too. He's running a business, and it was very easy to see how connected he was to what he was doing. And within 20 minutes, I had a quote in my inbox with all the details, everything I was gonna get, what kind of price range, what kind of setup I was gonna get. So there was like a lot of trust built straight from the get-go. And moving forward from there, the process to all the decisions that we made, my design is 100% customized. So I was lucky enough to be able to choose the wood, the color of the dimmers, the lockers, the handles on all the drawers and doors and everything, the color of the fabric on my cushions, that it's also the same here inside the flares, the ceiling, the lights. I was able to choose everything. And we sat down. I designed it first myself on a spreadsheet. I spent so much time overthinking everything. And I sent them my rough design on Excel, which they said was a really good starting point. And then they put into a 3D model, and we had to tweak a few things at the beginning. But then we arrived at what I consider to be a really functional design, especially considering that this is a short wheelbase van. And the amount of space that I have in here is actually insane for the size of the van. So my experience with Vanable was awesome. And I was just thinking now, as I'm talking to you, I had to buy so many things, and I had to, get in touch with people to get services done in the van. And I was just so lucky. I don't think I had one bad experience with like wedge tail, with the lights that I've installed, with Combi Life, and I got the tires and the wheels from them. I was just really lucky with the whole process because everything went just like really well. So the design, not only the design of the build here at the back, but also for the van, I have a 3-seat setup in the front. So it's a bench seat plus the driver's seat, and at the back here as well, this is all designed for 3 people when we go camping. This couch here turns into a bed for a small kid. My son was younger and smaller at the time, so this couch was designed as a couch, but also to be a bed for him. He slept in here a few times and fell on the floor. You might be noticing that this is a single bed, but I'm gonna show you that this bed turns into a double bed, actually a tiny little bit bigger than a double bed, and the design of the bed is just super smart. It saves so much room during the day. It gives me a lot of room to move around and to use another seat that's here in front of me, and use the sliding table that's right here that I'm going to show you in a bit as well. But everything was designed for 3 people, and it's super comfortable. And my only non-negotiable with the design, I remember I told the guys at Vanable, was that I wanted to be able to fit my board inside the van. So I wanted to have a garage, which I'm going to show in a little bit, where I could put my board inside, and it's accessible from here. I'm going to show you all the details in a little bit. My board is right here, but I just didn't want to have to deal with every time I want to go surfing having to climb on the roof. It's a really tall van, and also because I'm living in the van now and I'm sleeping in random different car parks and sometimes on the side of the street. I just didn't want to have the board up there, so having the board in here gives me peace of mind, and it's also super functional, quick and easy. When the waves are good, just park at the beach, get the board out, and off we go. And people often ask me, if you had to redo your build, redo everything you did with the van, what would you change? Honestly, I would not change anything, which I think it's the best testament to my own decision making, because I think I spent so much time thinking about and overthinking about every detail in this van, and also because Vanable just did an amazing job in putting this all together. And if you're wondering how long it took for Vanable to convert my van into a tiny home on wheels, it only took 6 weeks, which I think is insane, honestly. I dropped it off as an empty shell, and then 6 weeks later, there it was. And I picked it up on my birthday, the 28th of September, 2023. I remember they had balloons inside and a nice cake, and sang happy birthday. It was really cool. You see how easy it is to like those people. So overall, an amazing experience, and I could not be happier with the result. So now let me show you in detail all the features, how I use the space, everything I love, and yeah, this is the good stuff now. Oh, actually, since we're going to talk about the interior of the van now, let me first introduce you to one of our other sponsors in this video. Let me tell you about Autonomy. Autonomy is an Aussie brand that makes incredible products for cars, camper vans, and caravans. Everything they design is stylish, practical, and built for adventure. I first discovered Autonomy through Vanable Fit-Outs, the incredible team who converted this van. They surprised me with an Autonomy box when I picked up the van, and ever since I've been hooked on their products. So here are a few of my favorite products from Autonomy. The backseat blanket. This is easily one of my favorite picks. It's easy to clean, super versatile, super comfy, and perfect for adventure. The Autonomy scent spray, a must-have for van life. I just spray a little bit on one of these cool paper pads, hang one above my kitchen, and my van smells fresh all day. Very simple, very effective. The travel pillow. I've always wanted cushions inside the van, but I didn't want them flying around while I was driving. So enter the Autonomy travel pillow. It doubles as a cushion and a bed pillow, plus it's made from vegan leather, but it's easy to clean and keeps its shape beautifully. And last but not least, the roadblock, the ant and spider treatment from Autonomy. If you own a van, you know the struggle with spiders setting up camp on your wipers, on your bumpers, or your roof racks, and also ants trying to get into your van when you keep your doors open. Roadblock is a game changer. It's the only pest spray in Australia made specifically for vehicles. A couple of sprays twice a year on your vehicle and no more creepy crawlies. At $26.95, it's a no-brainer. If you want to check out some of these awesome products from Autonomy, make sure you head over to autonomyco.com.au. And if you want to order something, make sure you use the code 10 DriveSurfCamp for 10% off your first order. Thank you very much, Autonomy, for sponsoring this portion of the video. And now, back to the video. Okay, so let's start with this wall. This was one of the first decisions that I actually made, and it had to do with my seats in the front as well. I know a lot of people have only 2 seats, and then they get the swivel seat, so they sort of integrate the cabin with the van at the back. I didn't want to do that because when I'm driving my car, I want to feel like I'm driving a car without a house in the back. And when I'm here in my house, I want to feel like I'm not inside the car. So I knew I was going to have the 3 seats. I was not going to get swivel seats. So to me, it made a lot of sense to have a wall. And I think it looks really nice, especially when you're here hanging out at the back. A couple of things that I love. Number one, and I didn't even realize that actually when I decided on the wall, was that the temperature control is really good. When it's really hot, which is the case right now in the cabin, this wall really keeps it cool here at the back. And when it's cold, it's the same. So it makes, I mean, if you have a big van like that, you know that a lot of the temperature, the cold and the heat come from the big massive windscreen. So having a way of isolating the cabin, to me, it's super important. Another thing that I really love is that, of course, I have a door here, and this is so handy, especially when you arrive at the campsite at night and everything is wet around you, and then you don't want to need to get out of the car and get back in. You can just literally jump here and go straight to bed. And in the morning, sometimes when I wake up as well and it's super cold, or I'm just in a hurry and I just want to jump in the driver's seat and drive away, same thing, just open the door, hop in there, and off I go. It's nice for safety as well because I can just lock it when I go to sleep. So even if somebody ever breaks inside the van in the cabin, they're not going to have access to the house in the back. And it's lockable from the other side as well, and it's black. So when I park the car at night and have the lights on, you cannot really see anything at the back. And it's got, like, I put carpet all around it, so there's not even a peep of light coming through at nighttime. And we also took advantage of the area here to put the control panel here, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. I have hooks for my hats. I have another hook for my backpack. And another feature that I really like about this wall is that I have a shoe cube down here on the bottom. I'm going to show you. I can fit 2 pairs of shoes and my sandals as well. It's just really handy to have it, you know, right here in front of the door. If you're getting out, you just put shoes on here. If you're walking in, just put your sandals away. It's just really handy. So this is the control panel. It's also here on the wall. This is the cheapest component of the control panel, just a very cheap Amazon clock. I've got the temperature inside the van, the time, the humidity. This is the Renogy screen, and my electrical system is by Renogy, my batteries, my inverter, and of course the screen. I'm going to tell you more about the electrical system in a little bit, but I can control pretty much everything from here. I can see how much battery I have, how much power I'm using, if I'm charging either on a power point or driving or on my solar panels, my portable solar panels. I can see how much power I'm getting. And the good thing is that I can connect the screen to my phone. So if I'm driving and I want to check how much battery I have, I can do that. This is my water meter, and I think it's probably a good time to tell you that I have 70 liters of water in the tanks underneath the van. I love the fact that I don't have water inside the van. Everything's underneath. If I need to fill up the tanks, I have a connection like a normal house hose connection just on the side underneath the van. I just connect a normal hose in a campsite, gas station. It's super easy to fill it up. And this monitor here tells me how much water I have. This is just the switch for the inverter, which I'm going to tell you more about once I start telling you about the electrical system, which is coming up soon. And since I'm already here, let me tell you about one of my favorite features in this van. I think I've been saying that a lot, and I will probably repeat myself quite a few times telling you that this is my favorite feature in the van. But this part here, this cabinet, was really important to me. I got this idea from one of my favorite YouTubers, Chad the Rosa, from a channel called Living the Van Life. And if you're into vans and you don't know Chad and his channel, I don't know what you're doing. Go check him out. He's the OG of van life. He's been living in his van since 2011. Great guy, amazing content, great cinematographer. You should definitely check him out. But I got this idea from him because I was going to also be on the road creating videos, and I needed a spot to house all my IT gear and especially to charge all my IT gear, so I can charge pretty much everything I need to charge in here, from my watch to my phone to my AirPods to my cameras to my drone batteries, my computer, my tablet, everything. And it's nice because I have carpet lining on the inside, so everything is nice and protected. And I've got a light here on the inside, so if I have to check something in the middle of the night, which sometimes I do, I don't have to get the lights on. Just, yeah, motion sensor, the light goes on automatically. It's super handy. This is really important to me. Got power points, normal house power points inside here. I have to switch on the inverter to use them, but I can literally charge all my stuff, and it's really tucked away, nice and organized, which I love. So now the couch. You might be curious, and sometimes people do ask me, why do you have such a long couch? You could have used this area for so many different things. And the reason is because, I think I mentioned already, I needed room for my board, and I can slide in up to an 8.5 board here in the storage area. And I have a few other things in here that I'm going to show you in a little bit. I also needed room for my electrical system, which is down here. 2/3 of the couch are taken by the electrical system, and another third by just storage, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. And it was also designed to double as a bed for my son, which he used a few times. And also, honestly, I can host like 4 people here for dinner, drinks, or coffee, and everybody's comfortable. So I really like the couch. I think he fits really well, and it gives this feeling of like space inside the van. So moving on, since we are already in this corner of the van, let me tell you about the electrical system now, which is down here. And to have access to it, all I do is to remove this cushion and this one, and I have access to everything down here. So my electrical system, what do I have in here? I have 2 170 amp hours of lithium iron phosphate battery. I hope I said that right. So 340 amps altogether, which is enough for me because when I'm driving, I can charge my batteries at 50 amps, which is really handy. It charges really fast. I have my inverter, and if you don't know what an inverter is, essentially all the power I have in the van is 12 volts. When I want to use the proper power points that you have in your house, I need to convert the power from 12 volts to 240. So that's what the inverter does. And the bigger the inverter, the more powerful appliances you can connect to it. So this is a Renogy 3000 watt inverter. So I've used my induction stove, my air fryer, and my heater in winter at the same time without any issues. This is the advanced setup from Vanable. So everything I have in here was the top of the range that they had available at the time. So yeah, 340 amps of battery, 3000 watt inverter. I have my charge controller, so I can charge my batteries in 3 different ways. I can plug it in the power point when I go camping. I can charge as I drive, or I can use solar panels. And I know I mentioned before that I didn't have solar panels, and I don't. But what I do have underneath and on the roof racks is something called Anderson plugs that you can essentially plug portable solar panels to. So I can use solar panels as well, but I have to take them with me. So the charge controller does that. So what do I also have in here? I have my Starlink modem mounted permanently in here, which is so good because I have the cable going behind the walls and then comes out at the back. And then I have a hole through the floor of the van so the cable goes out of. And I can be, even at night or if it's raining, I can shut all the doors in the van and still have the Starlink dish outside with high-speed internet. It's really good. I also have another modem here. If you're wondering how I use internet in a daily basis, I have a Telstra modem which is connected to my normal plan with Telstra. So it gets the data from my plan, and I don't have to be hotspotting every time I open my laptop or when I use my iPad to watch a movie. It's like having a modem, like Wi-Fi in your house, in your tiny house, in your van. So this is what I have in here. A bunch of electrical stuff that I don't really understand, but everything is super organized with labels, all the switches, the load, the battery, the alternator, the solar. I can switch things on and off for safety, or if I'm gonna park the van somewhere for a while because I'm, I don't know, going on a trip and I'm not gonna be in a van, I can switch everything off. And it works so well. I never had any issues with the electrical, and it's super nice and tidy and clean, just how I like it. So this was the electrical system. If you have any questions about it, just drop me a comment below and I'll be happy to answer. And the last third of the couch is just, as I said before, a bit of storage. I keep my camera gear in here, my drone, some of my extra batteries and hard drives and headphones. Just just tech gear that I use to make videos for this channel and for some of the other businesses that I also run. Okay, and now everybody's favorite, the kitchen. I love my kitchen. It's got everything I need. It's tiny, but it suits me. It does the job. What do I have in here? I have a very nice faucet. I have cold and hot water, which also connects to the shower in the back, which I'm going to show in a little bit. I have the water heater under here. I love the wood. I love the backsplash. I think that's what it's called. It looks like tiles, but they're not. They're just plastic, but they do a really good job at faking it. I love that I have this piece of wood here, so which is of course part of the countertop as the lid for my sink, and it's good enough size sink just for one person. I have also on top here my Safari induction stove top, and it works really well. I use it all the time. I have here in this first big door, inside this first big door, everything that you would have underneath your sink. I have my compost bin. I keep my drink water in here as well. I have the water heater on the bottom, as I said, and just bits and pieces, some extra towels, some Ziploc bags, and detergent and sponges and things like that. So the set of drawers here on this side, the first one, I keep my cutlery, my cups, my bowls and plates, and a big knife, and that's about it. For the second one, I keep my fry pan, an extra pan, some spatulas and spoons, my jet boil, which is very important for my coffee, my espresso maker, which I have a video about in my channel if you want to have a look as well. I actually have a video all about making coffee on the road. I have my sandwich maker, which is amazing to even make pancakes. I use it a lot to make my pancakes. And this one, the big one on the bottom, is quite funny because I always knew I wanted to have an air fryer, and I went and bought the air fryer first, measured everything, and told Vanable, hey, I need this big drawer to be this big so I can make sure that I can fit my air fryer in here. And here it is. I have a lot of stuff in here. I have more coffee gear. I have my AeroPress. I have my mini NutriBullet that I use for smoothies. I have some supplements, protein powder, and my chopping board. And that's about it. Again, it's got everything I need. Works really well, and it's nice and organized. Always. And if you're wondering why I don't have any gas in the van, it's because I didn't really want it. I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable with sleeping in a van with gas inside. I know the electricity can be dangerous as well. I have a smoke detector on a wall over there that you've probably seen, but I just prefer to have everything electric. I didn't want to deal with gas. If you want to have gas in Australia, you have to cut a big hole on the side of your car because you need to have access from the outside. So I much prefer having everything electrical, the induction stove, the air fryer, and my heater and everything else, even though it uses a lot of battery, but you know, trade-offs. And of course, while we're talking about the kitchen, we have to talk about the fridge. And here it is. This is my Bushman DC85X, and the 85 is for 85 liters of capacity, which is more than enough for me. Sometimes I can go 2 weeks without doing any shopping because I have enough food in here. And I have a freezer as well, which is so good, having ice with you all the time on the road in summer, ice cream and frozen fruit for my smoothies as well. Not much to say about the fridge. It's just a fridge, 85 liters of capacity. I think that will be even enough for 2 people. This is a little bit overkill for me, but not having to go, you know, every single week to do my groceries is really good. And yeah, the Bushman DC85X. Recommend. And now welcome to my bedroom. This is my bedroom, and now you're gonna understand why I needed the flares installed in a van before I actually gave the van for Vanable to work on it. So on the inside, the van is 180 centimeters wide, and I am 183 centimeters tall. And I wanted to preserve all the living space here. So again, it's a short wheelbase van. I wanted to have a lot of living space. So my goal was to be able to sleep east to west instead of north to south. So if you do the math, I needed more room. So the flares came into play, and they're essential for this bedroom area to work. So if I show you here in a sec, if I lay down, I have 196 centimeters from one window to the other. And if I move up a little bit, you see that I still have plenty of room to move around. This bed is actually a little bit smaller than a normal single bed, but I got used to it pretty quickly. It's super comfortable. I love the mattress. It works really well. But now you might be wondering, okay, but it's just you in a van, but what if you have someone with you? How do you accommodate the other person? I'm glad you asked, because I want to show you the super clever bed design from Vanable. So I have a latch just under the mattress here, that if I unlatch and I pull it all the way, it comes all the way here to the kitchen, and I have the other half of the mattress in my storage unit, and it's exactly the same height, so it's super comfortable. And now this bed is actually a little bit bigger than a normal double bed. And I'm not sure if you noticed as well, I have lights over there, and it's exactly the same as this one that I have here in my hand. It's a chargeable light, then it's dimmable, and it changes color as well, and it's magnetic, so you can move it around. This bit here attaches to the bit on the top, and now you have a perfect setup for 2 people. Moving on, the next feature that it's super convenient is the slide out table, which is right here, and this works so well. If I'm working, I have plenty of room to put my laptop and my extra monitor here. If I'm having a meal, and if I have someone in the van with me and we want to share a meal together, there's a seat right here in front of me, which I'm about to show you, and I sit here. And I also have another table that I just realized I also want to show you, but this is amazing. And again, the fact that I have a single bed, that it's always made, and I have the ability to use the couch without having to change anything around with the setup, is just nothing short of amazing. And just underneath the slide out table here, I have a set of drawers as part of my bedroom. This is actually for my extra camera gear and tech gear in general. It's lined with carpet as well, just like the other cabinet, to make sure that everything is nice and protected. And it's really handy when I'm filming. Nice and easy to grab stuff from. This is probably the one that you don't need to see. This is just my underwear, socks, and toiletries and things like that. And the last one here on the bottom is just my gym gear. I keep everything in here when I head to the gym. My shoes, my workout gear, my towels, and everything is ready to go when I want to go and work out. And this is the extra seat I was telling you about just a few minutes earlier. It's nice and comfortable for one person. Again, I can use the slide out table from this seat too. And underneath here, I have probably the most sort of miscellaneous kind of storage compartment in a van. I have a little bit of everything in here: an extra pair of shoes, my electrolytes, shampoo, extra soap, just like some supplies that I, just need to replace with as I go about my life. And man, storage, gotta love storage. And this one, it's really handy. Let me show you the second table I have here in the van, which is right here. It's a lagoon mount system, and if you're into vans, you've probably heard of it. And if you're not into vans and this is the first time you're hearing about the lagoon mount, I'm going to show you in a second. I love the fact that it's hidden away, out of the way completely. And again, I can host 3 people comfortably. This is the table that I put over here, and I use it to work sometimes, just when I want to change from the slide out one that I just showed you. Or sometimes I even use it as an extension of my countertop when I want to cook a big meal to a lot of people and I need a bit more space. This is how I use this table. So let me get it out of here, and I'm going to show you how I set it up. So you have to remove one of the pieces, and this bit is the one that you connect to the mount that is here on the couch, like so. Once you lock it in place, the top bit just attaches like that, and voila, we are ready to go. And I love it because it can swivel in and out like that. You can spin it around, and it's so useful. So essentially you just sit on a couch right here, and you have another table to have a meal. I love the fact that I have the big sliding doors right here in front of me, so sometimes when I have a nice parking spot and I'm parked for the day at the beach, I just open the door and I literally have my breakfast, lunch, or dinner with a view to the ocean. Not bad at all. Oh, hello. How are you doing? I hope you're enjoying the show. One thing I just realized I didn't tell you, and you're probably curious about it because if you pay attention to details, you probably saw this weird looking thing over here on the back door as part of my bedroom setup. And what is this thing? This is my entertainment setup. This is the biggest Frankenstein you've ever seen. This is a rem mount, I think that's how you say, rem mount arm with a GoPro head and a Peak Design magnetic connection. So for my phone, I use this case here from a company called Peak Design, which is actually like an ecosystem, like everything these days. So I have this one on the back of my phone that I can put next to me as I'm driving. And also on my iPad, I have these little pads here that they sell separately that attach to everything they make. So this is my iPad, of course, as you can see. And when I want to watch a movie or YouTube or have a FaceTime call with family, all I do is just to put this magnetic pad to the other magnetic pad. And then I can move it around and adjust it to wherever I want to put it. And I can put my phone on this pad. I have two of these pads, just magnetic pads from Peak Design. And they attach like so. And if I want to switch it, if I want to get, okay, I want to put my iPad here now because I want to watch something as I'm cleaning the van or whatever, and I want to put my phone here because I'm having a FaceTime call with my family. That's what I do. And I'm probably going to make a video at some stage in the channel about this setup because this is so clever. Just the way that I'm using and taking advantage of, I think it's super handy, especially in such a small space. I wanted to have a TV in my bedroom, and this is it. So time for the overhead cabinets. I always knew I didn't want overhead cabinets on both sides. I feel like it makes the van feel really small, and I wanted to be able to sit straight when I'm in bed and have the lights on top as well, be comfortable. So cabinets only on this side. What do I have in them? This is my pantry, so just pantry stuff, food. And I have these lights here inside some of the cabinets. You probably noticed that already. And they're chargeable. This one doesn't have any battery. Oh no, it does. And they have a motion sensor, and they're really handy when you want to grab something in the middle of the night. What do I have on this one? This is just more like going out, kind of fancy clothes, not really fancy, and my super powerful new fan, which I'll show you one day. This one, just everyday clothes, pants, shorts, and shirts. And this one, it's a little bit of a miscellaneous. I have some of my window covers in here, my dirty laundry bin, my mini chargeable vacuum cleaner, and a few bits and pieces here with the light here at the back as well. Even though when you live in a van, you don't have a lot of stuff, but you still need a lot of storage, and I feel like I have plenty. Okay, and last but not least, and finally, the garage, the man cave, like the van itself was in the full man cave. Anyway, so my garage. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this was the non-negotiable for me, the ability to have my board in here with me at all times. This compartment here is lined nicely with marine grade carpet so it can get wet, it doesn't smell, it's amazing, protects my board. I also have my acoustic guitar in there. I have an extra table. I have my paddle, and I think that's it. And I keep my beach umbrella there in summer as well. So this for me was my non-negotiable, and just being able to get the board in and out when I go for a surf, it's so good. On this side, more storage. We have a lot of storage, and honestly, I don't even use the full capacity I have. I didn't want to have a drawer in here. I wanted to have this sort of like different cabinet just to be able to fit bigger items. I keep picnic blankets, some extra lights, camping lights, my fly screen, some hats in here. This one, what do I have in here? Oh, I have a lot of everyday picnic / camping gear. I have another picnic blanket, my foldable chair, my Nike, I think so, Nike hammock that I love. I have a pillow, a seat pad, another camping stool. I have a camping table from Nemo. I have my setup for my camera, for my not a GoPro anymore. I use the DJI Osmo 4 now. I just keep it at the back of the van here because if I'm going surfing and I want to put it on the board or just take with me in the water, it's always here and it's nice and handy. I love this little table here. I always wanted to have a table at the back of the van. You finish your surf or you're just having a picnic. You just bring the coffee gear, whatever you want to make, put it over here. Enjoy the view. If you're sitting at the beach, just sit down, have your drink, have your snack. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you feel like. This big one here, just like the one inside, I wanted to have in my two sets of drawer and my storage area, a bigger one so I could fit bigger items. This one is massive. I have a hanger here, as you can hear probably. I have my pair of Bluntstone boots. I have roof rack surfboard straps when I want to take boards in the roof. I have my hoodie towel, wetsuit. I kind of have double of everything that I have in the van, an extra pair of board shorts, a rash vest, some t-shirts, and this is really handy to keep my outdoor gear. This one, if you're a surfer, you're gonna love it. So not only for when I go surfing, when I go to the gym, you need to hang your wet clothes or towels or board shorts somewhere, right? So I didn't want to have everything in the bag and have it to hang everything outside of the van. So I have my own private washing line in my garage. So I have 3 rods in here that I can use, and I use all the time for my board shorts, my wetsuits, my towels. And again, it looks like tiles, but it's not, it's just plastic. And I do have a drain down here. So if I'm surfing and I put my wetsuit or my board shorts in here, it dries, drips and dries as I drive. There was a lot of these. And it's amazing because the next day everything is dry, and sometimes not the next day, in summer the next day, and I don't know, I just love it. This is so clutch, this is so handy. If you live in a van, which is my case, and you're going to the gym, you're outdoors, you always have wet stuff with you. If you want to dry them, keep them out of the way, they don't smell, enough sort of air circulation in this area as well. I love it. And when surfers see this, they go like, what are you talking about? I know, just ask Vanable, they can make one for you. This is my shower. This is my outdoor shower. You just open this little door here. I have a hose inside this compartment here, which is kind of like my boot. And like I said before, it's connected to the water heater. So if it's winter and I'm surfing somewhere remote and I want to rinse off when I have a shower, very hot, boiling hot water, which is amazing. This is my boot, and I keep a lot of bits and pieces in here. I have my, like I said, my hose for the shower. I have the hose to fill up the tank, the electrical cables to charge the van when I go to caravan parks. I have the outlet for the Starlink. As I mentioned before, I have my modem for the Starlink in the electrical system area, and the cable comes from the top and it ends up here. And I have a hole that I can feed through the cable, comes down here, and I can put the Starlink dish away from the van, because sometimes it's really handy. I know a lot of people put the dish fixed on top of the van, but in my case, sometimes I want to be in the shade, and I don't want to be, if you know Starlink, you know that you can get reception everywhere, but you need to have a clear view of the sky. So what happens is sometimes it's a hot day like today, extremely hot, and you want to park in the shade and have your Starlink dish away from the van. So I have like 30 meters, the length of the cable, to put the dish away from the van and close all the doors. Even if it's raining, I just get the cable from the inside here, feed it through, put it away, and happy days. I have outlets here, PowerPoint outlets, if I want to charge stuff as I drive, which sometimes I do. I just put it out of the way here, close the door, get the inverter on, and I can charge as I drive. Have tools, I have my hiking boots in here, and I just, as you can imagine, I use for like many different things. So I think that's the garage. What do you think? So this takes us to the end of this video. I'm so happy that you're still watching and you're probably enjoying it, so why not subscribe and like the video and drop your comment below. If you have any questions about anything that I've shared in the video, any of the products that I mentioned, please make sure you ask your question below. I'm pretty excited to interact with you all, with the van life community. If you are building a van, or if you're living in a van, or if you're just traveling, make sure you say hi. I would love to connect with you. I've been super excited to make this video for a very long time. I really wanted to share my van with the van life community. I love the setup. I want to say a big, massive thank you to the sponsors of this video, Weldbeat, Autonomy, and Vanketo. I'm so appreciative and honored to, in my first ever sponsored video in my channel, to have 3 sponsors and have these brands to trust me, to endorse their products and give a discount code for my audience. It's really cool, so thank you very much, Weldbeat, Autonomy, and Vanketo. And one of the things that I'm really looking forward to in 2025 is to keep building the channel and posting more videos. So if you see this big van down the road, come and say hi. I'm based in Sydney, New South Wales, but I'm always up and down the coast, especially the East Coast. I'm looking forward to connecting with you all. And I think that's it. It's a wrap, and I'll see you in the next one.